Being a Famous Scientist by Choosing Sides by me, Douche LaRue. WTF? WTF does choosing sides have to do with becoming a famous scientist? Here's the thing, to be a famous scientist, you have to pick the correct side of a debate. Scientists are a lot like lawyers in this way. You have to argue your case. You need to win your case. You have to belittle the other side. Go ahead, make fun of them a little. Faugh, you say, I am too pure for that. I only follow what the data says. Of course, I will ignore all the data that prove me wrong because that data is wrong and suspect. Choosing sides, the discussion. Take any scientific problem. Assume that there are two competing hypotheses to explain the problem. Hypothesis 1, hypothesis 2. A new data set is discovered that has bearing on the problem. If the data set is presented by the hypothesis 1 folks, you can be sure that they will claim the data supports their hypothesis. If the data set is presented by the hypothesis 2 folks, they will claim that the data supports their hypothesis. So basically, both groups of scientists are going to argue that the data support their hypothesis. This is understandable. They spent years studying the problem, thousands of hours, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in their studies, if not millions. They are invested in their work. One little data set isn't going to change their minds. So the result, same data, different explanations. Who does that sound like? Lawyers. So the thing is, you don't pick a side based on data or the results of your study. You pick a side based on what your goals are, because your data can be interpreted either way depending whose side you are on, because scientists are like lawyers. There are two lawyers, they both have the same evidence, they both argue their cases, someone else decides who is right regardless of the evidence. It's the same in science. So why choosing sides is important. Where are the deep pockets? Who has more money to pay you? Will I win an award for this? Will I increase my citation index? Will some process or equation be named after me? What are the long-term implications of saying something or other? Do they make you money? Do you get fame, groupies, and acceptance in country clubs or speaking engagements? If you go against this guy, will he crush you like a gnat? Even though he's wrong and an ass, it might be good to cozy up to him or her. More on choosing sides. You can take literally any scientific fact, theory, postulate, comment, paper, observation, and with a little work, twist it around like it was a used chewing gum wrapper. You can take essentially any scientific theory and propose an alternate to it, a different interpretation, a different viewpoint. And that can make you famous, or you can be regarded as a useless creep. If you choose one side, you might get lost in the crowd. You're just another scientist, you're part of the roaring horde. If you choose the opposing viewpoints, then maybe everyone will say that you're just an ass who opposes everything. But if you're creative, you can gain exposure, scream randomly when you give presentations, wear your clothes backwards, and dress in meat. Your theory, if everybody wore cheese instead of clothes, then the creamy yogurt would help skin complexions. Then you make up scientific citations. Ancient Babylonians routinely smeared cheese on their nether regions to address skin rashes. But here you need a reference. Should you make up references? Generally, that is regarded as non-kosher in the scientific circles. Blatant lying is generally regarded poorly. However, misquoting is a power move, as are mixed quotes. Linus Pauling indicated that vitamin C and cheese represent key antioxidants. Cheese may also be an antioxidant in that it contains complex chains including branched olefins that may also aid antioxidant reactions. I made all of that up. Summary of the chapter. So the thing is, you don't pick a side based on data or results of your study. You pick a side based on what your goals are. Because your data can be interpreted either way depending whose side you are on, because scientists are like lawyers. Your path forward, do you want that Mediterranean villa or do you want big money and groupies? I rest my case.